talk about your recovery and kind of where you're at when you were in a lot of pain and saying, now's the time I need to do this.
Yeah. So, long story short, the pain just got worse and worse and worse over the course of my career, and it started to limit me as to what I was able to do, and that forced me to shift and shift and shift in a way that I think was really helpful for my artist. But eventually, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I was at a place where it was really not okay, and like I was not excited about dancing anymore. I was nervous about going to auditions because I knew I was going to be in pain afterwards.
Sure.
Doctors had always said, like, well, there's nothing going on. No one ever wanted to, like, actually hear the story because so many dancers have a hip thing, and it's just what it is. You have a torn labrum. Finally got a new doctor, and I said, I think something's actually wrong here. And so he said, okay, well, let's go see some specialists. Bing, bang, boom, did the scans. I've got full-blown arthritis. There's no cartilage left and all the normal dance injuries. And he's like, the pain that you're experiencing, I'm here to validate. Because up until then, it had been, there's nothing wrong, so therefore, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to do anything about it.
Par for the course. At this point in your career, you're a dancer, you're brutal on your body. It's just taking time. Yeah. But then he validated this is something, other layer here that
you've got a
fix
70-year-old man's hip right now.
Yeah.
Which was kind of huge. It was cathartic that whole process was very strange because I've also identified as a dancer working through struggle, which is not different. That doesn't make me special. All dancers are certainly struggling, but it was in my identity and knowing that like I didn't have what the facility was that many of my contemporaries had, and so it was a point of pride. And as the surgical option started to land on the table, and it was going to be something that I could do, there was this aspect of excitement to get out of the pain and to get back to the dancing. But there was also this fear of like, am I going to even be the same dancer if I don't have this? Right. Like, who am I? If I've always felt like I've sat into my left hip my entire life. I've never stood up, standing up straight was never what I did.
Right.
I was watching a video of myself performing with my physical therapist after the surgery of like a year previous, and she was like, look at your leg, look at how crazy that looks. But I was like, yeah, but that's also my style. That was what made me unique.
Yeah.
But to get back to your question, long-windedly.
That's great. The tangents are good.
The recovery and the pain and all that, I guess what I can speak to most is that there was a major fear. The pain was real, the pain was there. Once the surgery happened, it was trusted that it was going to go away. I just had to deal with it. But there was a serious fear of if I was ever going to get back in the room, actually.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to be dancing again. I knew that was there, but am I going to be able to compete?
Yeah. Can you sustain 8 shows?
Yeah.
Can you even get cast? Can
I feel confident enough to do what I need to do to stand out in the way that I need to stand out?
Right.
And that process was hard, and I was really freaked out about it, and it was really precious because I felt the weight of it. That this is sort of every day needs to be handled compassionately in like a step-by-step way, because if I fumble this tower, I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to like start from scratch again.
Yeah.
And so there was this day, it was about 6 months after my surgery, and I was in callbacks for the FX series Fosse Verdon, which was a big deal for dancers in New York, and it was something that I was kind of really, really, really hoping I was going to be able to book because it would be consistent work that would be able to support me.
Right.
And it wouldn't be dancing 8 shows a week while I finished my recovery.
Sure. Yeah, because you'd be more in a studio sort of television production or movie production mindset, which is not the same pace.
No. And now hearing about what that process was like for many of my contemporaries, I know that it wouldn't have been necessarily an easy on the body thing.
Sure,
It's all expectations and whatever. But we're in the room and it's callbacks, and I'm there with all the guys who I dance with and all the people that I look up to, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great. I'm in the room. I'm here. And then I got cut. And there was only like 3 of us that got cut or whatever, and I felt it. I felt the curtains coming and the darkness, and I thought, oh God, this is the moment that I'm never going to return from.
Right.
And so I said, no, there's something here. Take this energy, turn it into something good. So I forced myself to go to this basic ballet class, which felt crazy because I've danced ballet my whole life. And I go that afternoon, and I'm in the class, and I'm so aware of myself, and I'm aware that the teacher's looking at me being like, well, what are you doing in this basic ballet class, and I'm all the shapes work and the balances work, but then I'm trying to stand on my left leg and I can't. And in that moment, I had this realization of, okay, I was in that room this morning with those dancers, but then I got cut, and I'm here, and I know that 80% of my facility is working so great, but then 20% is completely not working. And I just kind of like expanded the room to hold space for all of those different identifiers.
Yeah.
And that's what actually gave me the grace to take the pressure off.
So you got cut that morning, and then you decided to start that ballet. Was that all the same day?
All the same day.
So
yeah.
you got cut. You suffer this terrible,
Deflating
deflating experience.
Heartbreak, truly.
Yeah, and you're trying to recover from rehab, and meaning physical rehab. If I excerpt this out, it wasn't another type of rehab, but it was a physical, recovery from major surgery that threatened your career. You get cut. It's formatting. It's all sort of coming together that this is it. I really don't have a path forward. And then you decide, I think a ballet class will help me, and you're in that afternoon or evening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it wasn't even, I think the ballet class is going to get me a job. It was, I'm not going to be okay psychologically if I don't change path right now. I can't crater on this. I have to live no matter what. No matter if I don't make it back in the room, I have to continue to be okay with myself.
Right.
And so, I needed to transform that energy. I needed to expand it. I needed to go out to the place that felt really uncomfortable and vulnerable and find a new confidence.
So you're at the ballet. You're trying desperately to come up with, a progression where you're confident again to being cast and working.
Yeah. The ballet class pretty instantly shifted my point of view because it gave me something to say I was doing. To be like, because it's something to say to professional dancers like, oh, I'm back in ballet class.
Right.
Like everybody kind of understands that. There's certainly people who take class all the time, and there's certain people who don't, and either way, whatever, your path is our path. But it gave me something to say like, I'm working on this, and holy cow, who knew it was going to be so hard to do pas de chas across the floor slowly, like but it's a struggle, and so I continued on that path, and I think it was like 5 months after that I actually debuted in Hamilton on stage.
Yeah.
But not too far after that ballet class, probably like 2 months after that is when the auditions started to actually work.
Yeah.
Where I was starting to feel confident, and in Hamilton, the Hamilton audition process is long. There's a ton of boxes to check, and you never know quite what you're auditioning for.
Yeah.
But I remember the first day going in for that, and I ended up dancing in the room for like 3 or 4 hours straight. And I was inspired and not thinking about anything, and I was properly warmed up. But I remember leaving the room and being like, whoa, that went really well. And I'm like, I'm going to get emotional. I was so excited and so thrilled because I wasn't restricted and I wasn't in pain. It was a brand new experience. I was like, and it dawned on me, that day dawned on me, I was like, this is the actual experience that I was hoping for, that I've never even been able to understand because I've never been a dancer who was gonna be not in pain after doing what I love.
Yeah.
And that was like, the windows flew wide open and the glorious light came in and said like, holy shit, your life is gonna be good again.
Yeah. This Full Exposure podcast episode has been made possible through the support of Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, and Dr. Peter Hahn, who believe that creativity and the arts are essential to a rich, healthy, and fulfilling life.